flow that we're tracking is Zomato and Paytm and what's happened over there. Remember, Zomato has acquired Paytm's ticketing business for a little over 2,000 crore rupees as part of its strategy to focus more on its core financial services offering. To discuss more on this, we're joined by Gurmeet Chadha of Complete Circle Consultants. Gurmeet, thank you so much for joining us. Always appreciate your time here. Now, there are two angles to this, right? One is, of course, Zomato is trying to get a larger wallet share of the consumer with this particular deal. But the stock has also rallied significantly. So now it's become a super app of sorts. Do you think a lot of the good news is in the price, or is there more to go?
No, I don't think so. I think there is a lot more to go. I think people had concerns when they did Blinkit. And you remember how the price came down post IPO to 50, 60 levels. They had a few soft quarters. But if you see now, if you just compare last 1 year, the food delivery revenues have grown up from 1,800 crores to 2,200 crores. The quick commerce has gone up from 300 to almost 1,000 crores. And Deepinder Goyal himself said that this will outpace food delivery in next 2 to 3 years. They are increasing their dark store count. They are currently at about 650, already leading. Swiggy, Instamart is around 500, and they plan to go up to 2,000, by 2027. And Ola is coming up with dark stores, and you have Zepto going up to 700. So there's a lead they have on quick commerce. Book My Show also, on this, especially entertainment and ticketing, they did 18 crore tickets last year with about 3 crore customers. Zomato has 7 crore. So it will challenge the, I think currently almost monopoly status of Book My Show. And Zomato will bring in, it may not be great news for Book My Show, but that's also survived a lot of crisis. So I think this will add to the overall, as you rightly said, super app thing. Their live business will also go up from 400 odd crores to 700-800 crores. So I think it's a great development. For 1 or 2 quarters, there could be a bit of a burn in that case. But I think this is looking now very good. And mind you, the government has a view on e-commerce. Mr. Piyush Goyal came up with a statement. So they don't want deep discounts to be the business model. They want value addition and platform and convenience to be the business model. And I think that's where probably they have an edge.
Undoubtedly, the execution at Zomato has been flawless to grow the categories it's already present in, and now this will be the third vector of growth. But the question is that are they overpaying to some extent? Because they're paying nearly 2,000 crore to acquire 10 million customers that Paytm's ticketing business has today. So that's approximately 2,000 rupee per customer. And even if you compare it with, say, Book My Show, which has so far been the dominant player in the entire ticketing and live business, their revenues are only 800 crore rupees. So while no doubt over the longer term, it can make this work and it will add that growth lever for Zomato. But do you think on the valuation front, 7 times EV to sales is what Zomato is paying for this business? Is it too much?
I think we need slightly different lens rather than just looking at the current revenue. So as I said, if you see Zomato has almost, total customer base of about 7 crore, and the average transacting customers are about 2 crores a month. Book My Show total customer base is 3 crores. So I think what they can bring to the table, you get a head start in this already. So you don't need to really invest from scratch. So you get a head start and you can leverage your existing client base and the amazing data analytics they have to really build on this. And what is happening is, other than the movie ticketing business, which is around 70%, the live event share is going up. So if you see Book My Show financials, there were 2 expense items. One was the commissions paid to the movie production houses, and second was the artist fees. That's going up rapidly. So number of live events are catching up, whether those are stand-up events, whether those are some of the other live cricketing events, sports events, and that part of the revenue will also go up. So I think they will leverage that base. And Zomato also has a very, very good loyalty program. So, a lot of business model can be pivoted. So I think it's more got to do with the growth. See, business like Zomato, you need to be continuously growing at 50, 60%. Food delivery will now grow at 25%. Quick commerce is the one which will do 50, 60%. You need a third vector, as you rightly said, which can match up to that growth to sustain the horse which is running at this speed.
So the acquisition, right, that they've made, the management believes that this acquisition will help Zomato increase its focus on the business, where they expect to increase the GOV from 3,200 crores this year to 10,000 crores in FY26. Do you think that's a bit of an ambitious target, or do you think that's achievable? And, now it's a sort of a well-discovered story, right? I mean, at 60, at 70, there was, of course, still a little bit of people were on the fence, but now most of the street is convinced. So do you think from here to generate alpha will be a bit tough?
No, I don't think so. I think it's a question of if they can demonstrate what they did in Blinkit. As I said, if you can demonstrate, as I said, last year they were doing 300 crores in quick commerce, and this year they're almost touching 1,000. And they're talking of exceeding food delivery. So if we can demonstrate same that in the entertainment and ticketing, and Sonia, mind you, entertainment and ticketing has much wider implication in terms of expansion. So right now you are at home kind of a model. This is getting out of home kind of a model, right? So it gives you a completely different space to expand and pivot. And I think they are thinking of those lines. And in e-commerce, the growth is always geometric with the kind of internet penetration now India has. I personally think, and maybe it's a little early to say, this has the makings of the big commerce giant, something what Amazon did in US, provided that they stick to the right capital allocation. They've done few mistakes in the past. They've learned from it. So if they stick to good capital allocation, which in my view is good in this case, I think this has more legs to play. This will be more valued now, like the FMCG names and the e-commerce name, rather than just looking at it as a new age business.
You're saying that in a way that you're hopeful or optimistic or confident that the playbook will be similar to what they did when they acquired Blinkit and the growth that followed for the quick commerce. Perhaps we're going to see something similar. Well, after they acquired Blinkit, we also did see the stock price fall. I think it was at 150, 180, it went all the way down to 40, 50 rupees. And then that phenomenal one-way rally started. What do you think this is going to do, this acquisition is going to do to their bottom line? And do you think over the next 6 to 12 months, as the investments play out, we could see the acquisition hurting the company's bottom line?
Well, I'll be happy if it corrects, because we are on the accumulation side. So I'll be praying that it corrects a little more so that you can build more sizable positions. We have, as a disclaimer, around 2%. In the portfolio, which I think was a little less considering. Now, obviously, everything is a hindsight in these bull markets. But I agree with you, for first couple of quarters, you could see a bit of a drag because any acquisition comes with, its own set of challenges. And it's not really a very cash-rich company, right? When you do an all-cash deal, that will have its challenges. But that's okay. As I said, these are businesses where you continuously need growth levers. I think this will be another big one in lines of what they did with Blinkit.
Okay, Gurmeet, very, very helpful there. And I think you've convinced us about the long-term story of Zomato despite the rally that we've seen. Thank you so much for joining us and, speaking to us about this entire story. So positive coming through for Zomato, acquiring Paytm's insider business, the ticketing and the events ticketing business, and of course the potential that they have over there. Zomato, by the way, has cooled off. Paytm is still hanging out in the green line, but nothing much to write home about. So let's slip into a quick break. On the other side, we'll discuss what's buzzing in the commodity space with Manisha Gupta. Stay with us.